morning, y'all. I just thought maybe you might want to watch me clean up the stall for the goats. The best that I can know how to do it, this is kind of a trial and error type thing, because I've already figured out, which I already knew, the muck forks that you use to clean horse stalls with is not going to work for cleaning the goat stalls. So what I do basically is get a pitchfork, and where it's concentrated into piles on top of the hay, I go ahead and scoop that up, and then I kind of move it around a little bit and find any more areas that have poop built up like that, and finding the wet spots and then digging those out with the pitchfork. And then where it's not so thick, I'm just basically raking it into a pile and then scooping it up like that, using like the show snovel. Oh my gosh, the snow shovel is sitting over there with the red handle and big shovel head on it. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just out here cleaning some of this up since Oreo, had just given birth in here and everything. I did find the afterbirth, so make sure to get all that mess out of here, basically. And it looks like it's just a shadow right here, but that's actually a wet spot right there and right here. So that light's actually, I was gonna turn it off as warm as it is, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on just so it'll help kind of dry that out, because that's probably where she laid to have the baby. So I'm just, like I said, scooping up the hay and getting it cleared out. And then where Oreo normally will sleep on this hay that's piled here next to this feeder, and this was one of her wet spots I dug out. So I'll just take this excess hay that she pulled out of that feeder and just kind of spread it back over the areas of the dirt. At this point in time, that's about the best I can do. I've tried that deal right there for hay for them. It was fine when Annie, just the babies, was getting up in there and sleeping, because they weren't pooping and peeing on it. But then the big goats decided, it looked like a cozy spot, so they got up there. So then they started pooping and peeing in it. I knew it was them because of the size of it. So at this point in time, until I get a better hay situation set up, our plan is to get on one of these other Homestead channels, and, well, actually several of them, compare their homemade hay feeders for goats and commercial made. I would rather go with something homemade. Y'all, this is baby's day 3, and she's clumsy. She's still not steady on her feet at all, but she's sure testing out those legs. Yeah, testing them out. She ends up in the dirt half the time, but she keeps trying. It's a lesson in that. No matter how many times you get knocked down, just keep getting up, keep coming back, trying. So I'm just cleaning up stall mess, so that way it's not building up. It's a lot of wasted hay because, of course, they're kind of using the hay as bedding. my plan is basically is before long to be able to get the hay feeders done. But right now, as far as building projects, I want a vegetable wash station. I also need a milk stand. I need the milk stand before I need the vegetable wash station. But the vegetable wash station is like a super simple project to finish. It's like a one-day thing, it's done. The milk stand might take a day or two. It just kind of depends on how it comes together. Anyway, I'm just doing what I can, one step at a time. Sometimes if you start looking at like the overall picture of everything that you want done, it's overwhelming. And I know there's a lot of people that are going through that right now, and you just got to make sure and take time to rest and recuperate. You know, don't kill yourself doing it, because hopefully tomorrow will still be another day and you'll still be able to do some more on it, and chipping away at it, at least doing some as you can, is better than just standing still and doing nothing. And I say that as I stand here, recovered from a time period of basically where I couldn't hardly do anything for almost a year, and then recovered enough that I was able to get up, start moving around and building up my strength, and being able to come back down to the barns, you know, and to be able to do stuff with the animals and helping to feed and clean and all that, because there's a couple years there I couldn't do it. It was like if I tried to lift anything more than 2 pounds, it killed me. And so even now I have days where I can't hardly walk, and so I have to be careful of how much weight, you know, some days I feel too good and I'll overdo it, and then I'll be laid up for a week. So anyway, like I said, it's like with any other, you just kind of like do what you can, do the best you can, and move on to the next thing. And before you know it, you'll actually start accomplishing more and more. Because I tell you something too, I tell you, seeing things actually progress and get done, it kind of motivates you to do more too. Unless you lose focus, it's easy to lose focus sometimes. And so sometimes taking that stop, break, and stepping back and looking at things, it's just better to do that sometimes and come back re-energized and refocused.